You see, many people miss opportunities in life because they did not treat some people at some point in their lives well. That is why it is very important for you to treat people right at every point of your life. Never look down on anybody. Never look down on a person. Don't look at a person looking at their present situation or circumstance and assume that their lives are going to be like that. You need to value a person because they are human, because they are a person. You don't value a person because of what they have, or what they don't have. You need to value people because they are people. You see that many people they missed opportunities. Many people they missed blessings. People who are supposed to be a blessing to them because they looked at them and they thought like, oh, this person doesn't have this person doesn't have that, and they thought, no, I don't have anything to do with this. Especially, in our generation, you find a lot of people, they only want to associate with people that look like well-to-do. That is why some people, they will borrow a car, they may not even have a car, but they'll carry car keys at the mall, even if they're not driving, so that they may look important. Because people nowadays, they want to associate with somebody who looks like there's something that is happening in their life. But that is not the way life works. You need to understand that people are people. One of the things that you have to know is that humans, okay, people actually, they carry God in them. You see that? And if a person has God in their life, it doesn't matter what they don't have. It's just a matter of time. Especially when you talk about material things. You see that? These things are easy to have. There is no situation that remains permanent in anybody's life. Every person's life is bound to change. And in most cases, it is bound to change for the good. You see that? It is bound to change for the good. There is hope for everybody. That is why you need to treat everyone right. No matter the current season they may be going through, no matter the season you find them in, no matter how long it may seem to take, you should value people because they're people, and you should love them unconditionally. I decided to love people unconditionally, not because of what they can do for me, or what I can benefit from that, but value people without even expecting anything in return. You need to wake up to the reality that it is God who blesses you. It is not people. It is God who blesses you. So if it is God who blesses you, then you have to be, look to God instead of looking to people. You see, sometimes, we want to associate with people in high offices, people who seem to be influential, but sometimes that is not the way it works. You see, that's not the way it works. In many cases, God will use somebody who seems to be very low at some point in your life to bless you, to bless you, to bless you. Praise the Lord. Imagine Joseph. His brothers took Joseph and they put him in a pit. They wanted to kill him. But they said, no, let us leave him in a pit. Imagine the time he was in a pit and how he was feeling. And how his brothers felt. They felt they were above him. And he felt so low in the pit. Yet, that same boy who they had put in the pit was the one who their whole lives later will come and depend on. Look, you need to value people. Don't look at the person and say, this is a nobody. You need to value people for who they are. Even if their lives look so hopeless, you need to value people. Those people, God would use them to bless you beyond what you even thought possible. Beyond what you even thought possible. God will use people to open doors for you. What I learned about humans is that humans are doors. Remember what Jesus said? Jesus said, I am the door. It is not just Jesus who's the door. People are doors. So when you when you despise somebody, and then later on you find out that that person is the only person who may connect you to another person who you need, that great connection that will change your life. But you see, you block yourself because years ago you did not treat that person right. You see, you did not treat that person right, and so they are not willing to help you because you did not treat them right. You need to treat people right, no matter the situation they may be going through. No matter the situation they may be going through, you know. Imagine that guy who Joseph met in the prison, who was restored by Pharaoh to go and serve Pharaoh as a cupbearer. And Joseph said, "Look, you need to remember me. Please remember me." And the guy went and he completely forgot about Joseph until after 2 years. Oh no, when Pharaoh had a dream, hey, there's a Hebrew boy, I think we can get him. When Joseph got out of prison, that guy became his subordinate. You see? He became his boss. Look, people are people. No matter what they may be going through today, value people. It can be your classmates. Some of your classmates can actually be your boss later in the future. You may be at the university or at college, and you're looking at them like this. They can be your boss. You see? In the future. And you cannot do anything. Look, this is the way life is. We see these things happening all the time with people. You need to value, respect people, no matter who they look to be. Because you may need their help. You may need their assistance later on in your life. And then there are other people who are fond of destroying relationships. There are people who are fond of destroying relationships for no reason. They say, no, I just don't like that person. And they destroy a relationship. When God brings people in your life, He brings them for a reason. One of the reasons He brings them is so that you may bless them, and so that they may also be a blessing to you. Don't destroy relationships. Relationships are very important. At every point in your life, you need relationships. There is one person who I was talking to. He said, I don't need people. So I said, so what will happen to you? I asked the person. He said, what will happen to you if you got a flat tire and then you don't have a spare tire? And then you're far away from the city. What can you do? That person said, I will call my mom. It's a person who doesn't value relationships. It's a person who doesn't have relationships in their life who talk like that. They only depend on their family. You see, when there's a big problem, they only depend on their family. Your life should not be like that. You need to have relationships. I'm telling you, people are meant to bless you. God cannot just, bless you from heaven and, He doesn't work like that. Even when God wants to give you something, He has to find somebody who will do it for you. You see? At one point, Saul in Acts chapter 9, Saul almost missed somebody who would open his destiny in ministry. Because when he was in the world, he abused God's people. And one of the people he abused was supposed to be a blessing to him. And his name was Ananias. It took Jesus to go and talk to Ananias. Ananias refused. He said, look, this person, I cannot minister to him. Jesus had to negotiate with Ananias. Even Jesus, he would have ministered to Paul directly. But you know what? He doesn't do that. He had to talk to Ananias and negotiate and ask him to do this because he was the only one who could do it. So Jesus went to Ananias and he said, Ananias, you need to go and lay hands on Saul because I want to use him. Ananias said, no, Lord, I cannot do that because this person has been killing your people. And he was scared of him. He said, no, Lord, he has been persecuting us. Jesus, if not for Jesus, Paul's life would have been stuck forever in blindness, would have been blind forever with scales on his eyes. People are very important. Don't say, no, you know what, I'll just pray to God and God must use people. Now, if you keep closing doors, you keep closing doors with people around you, you're making it difficult for God to bless you. Imagine if Ananias had refused. You should read the story in Acts chapter 9. Imagine if Ananias had completely refused what Jesus told him. Jesus had to look for another. It would have taken more time and it would have delayed Saul's destiny because he had been closing doors with people. You need to pay attention to your life. Pay attention to people. Pay attention to people. You see? It is not about what I can get. No, I should get something from this person. It's what I should give. That is why some people, they never have people who can help. You see, you need to normalize to network with strangers. Add strangers to your network. You see, normalize that. Adding strangers to your network. It is very important. Because if you add strangers to your network, you're expanding your network. Life becomes easier like that. You see? It's not about what I can get, it's about what I can give. This is how you should live your life. And look, when you live your life like that, you will find that God will keep increasing you, He'll keep blessing you, He'll keep multiplying you. When you live with a mindset of giving out, what can I do for you that can be a blessing to you? You see? Yeah. If you don't even need money to have a lot of money to be a blessing. Just what you can do. Sometimes, the greatest help that you would give to people is not even money. It's not even money. Sometimes it's just a connection. You connect this person to that person. You see? Sometimes, it's just a word a word of faith. If you can give money, thank God. You do it. But, you have to determine to be a blessing to somebody. You see? Everyone that crosses your path, determine to be a blessing to them. When the brothers of Joseph came bowing down to him like he had dreamt years before, he had opportunity to revenge because those guys, they wanted to kill him. They attempted to kill him. But instead, he turned out to be a blessing to them. He decided to be a blessing to them. Decide to be a blessing to somebody. Refuse to despise people. There's a temptation of wanting to despise people because of how they look, what the things that they are wearing, the car that they're driving, There's this temptation to despise people with the job that they do. You need to outgrow that kind of temptation. Then you will see God increasing you. You will see people loving you. You will see God favoring you with people. You will see God's grace abounding more and more in your life. So, today, choose to be a blessing to somebody. May God bless you. Shalom, shalom.